I'm Dr. Marie. Welcome to my video series featuring quick tips and tools for how to be your best self today. And today's quick tip is kind of geared more towards introverts than anybody else, but I would argue this would apply to all of us. I know it applies to me as an extrovert as well. And first, to start with, to sum up the key difference between introvert and extrovert, let's first of all hold it on a spectrum rather than seeing it as either you're over here or you're over there, but most people are kind of in the middle, and then we have less and less people coming out to the extremes. And for those who lean more extroverted, they glean more energy from being with other people, and people who lean more introverted glean more energy from being by themselves. And most of us need some blend and balance of both of these, but that's sort of the overall idea. And those of us who are introverted, I say those of us, I'm an extrovert. Those of you all who are introverted can especially be prone to feeling some shame because somehow in our culture, like it or not, people have glamorized extroversion and somehow denormalized introversion. And the reality is we need extroverts and we need introverts and to balance each other out for society to function at its best. So we need to nurture our introverts, and in order to do that, it needs to be okay for introverts to be by themselves. And it's such a radical concept, particularly in Silicon Valley, but I think it's happening everywhere, where somehow the idea that I need to spend a little time by myself so I'm not free to hang out is this frowned upon unhealthy idea, and that's unfortunate because we all need that by ourselves times, and particularly introverts really need to hold that time sacred. So my quick tip for you today, whether you're introverted or not, is to block off me time in your calendar. If you have a paper calendar, write it in there on a regular basis. If you have the online calendar, Google, Outlook, whatever it is, block it off in your schedule and make sure it's pretty regular, probably at least weekly. If you have no me time right now, at least once a month. You're really going to want to work out to at least weekly, and probably more than that. And what that blocking that time off needs to symbolize is sort of sacred space. I need this time in order to be healthy, in the same way you might block off going to the gym or going on a date with your spouse or spending time with your kids. Whatever it is, you have to hold it sacred, because this is what you need in order to be a better person when you are with other people, when you are getting your work done. Whatever it is that you spend the rest of your time doing, it's going to be helped by holding that me time sacred. So then let's say you block off Wednesday at 6 p.m. as me time, and a friend comes along and they say, "Hey Marie, are you free at 6 p.m. on Wednesday?" And the temptation is to look at the calendar and say, "Oh, 6 p.m. Wednesday, me time. I'm pretty much free, actually. Let me hang out with my friend instead." That's the big no-no. We need to protect that as, "I'm busy actually at Wednesday at 6. Can you do Thursday at 6? Or, I don't encourage this as plan A, but if you do schedule something in that me time, you have to move that me time into a nearby time slot. This isn't ideal because sometimes when we do this, we just sort of keep bumping it to later and later and later, and then it doesn't really happen. So try not to do that, but if you do need to schedule something in that me time, still hold that me time sacred. Make sure it happens. And you don't need to come up with a lie to tell your friends to say that you're not free. The reality is you're not free because you're busy, because you put something on your calendar. And if you want to tell them what you're doing, you could say, "I'm doing me time because that makes me a nicer person to be around when you see me." And if they don't get it, they'll get over it eventually. And that may sound a little bit harsh, but I think we do need to sort of radically shift our culture around this. So it's okay to be a little bit radical about it. I don't think it should be radical. It should just be normal. But here we are, culture changing radically together. So that's my quick tip for this week, is to hold sacred me time space. Put it in your calendar. You don't need to make excuses. Hold it sacred. And I hope you find it helpful. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe for more like this one. And until next time, I'm Dr. Marie Fang, and I hope you have a great day.